Sweet.
Oh, back to back?
No. Hey there. Hello there. Shyler and Lucas from Nick's Boots. Kelsey is filming this. Just want everybody to know that. So we're going to be doing something a little different with our limited run leathers. We're actually going to get feedback from you, our incredibly important and valued, deeply respected customers. Or maybe, if you're thinking about becoming a customer, see what you think about some of these new leathers. So we're going to run through this by tannage. So we're going to start with Cypress here. So you've seen some of these pictures in like Boots on the Line and videos as well, but this one will be hopefully a little more comprehensive. So we're going to start with Cypress, show you the colorways. Then we'll basically have like polls going out through socials and Reddit, etc., to get your feedback on what you guys think might be the best option. And then we'll see, right? Yeah. It'll be kind of an internal rating as well as what the community thinks, and that'll kind of determine the cadence and which ones actually make it to the marketplace, at least under Nick's Boots. So this is Cypress. So this is Pacific. So this guy might also be worth it to do a comparison of the different tannages.
Yeah, we've done Pacific in almost every tannage.
Yeah.
In the Heritage lineup.
So this is kind of interesting. So this is CXL Pacific versus Cypress. And you can really see the difference. CXL, very glossy. Definitely has more of that like green coming through on it, whereas I feel like just because of the little washed out nature of Cypress, it doesn't come through as much. Still really pretty, still awesome, still looks good. The CXL is definitely like maybe an easier canvas for them to use from a dye standpoint.
A little bit more
get
consistent
into that a little
across the board. Yeah.
This is my favorite personally. This is light gray Cypress. It's you don't see a lot of grays like this. So you've just got like a lot of brown in
them. Yeah, we've even done some like steel and things like that, and it's still pretty dark.
And you'll see that with some of the other gray variants that we have in other tannages.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice light gray. It's got a really nice pull up to it. I can't wait to see what these look like after some wear.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But I think that's a really, really good option there. I think this is a natural.
Okay, so natural Cypress, kind of already gotten some feedback that people like this one, so we'll see. I do think the Cypress is a nice base for a natural. Obviously a pretty aniline finish, but also like, you've got some other naturals in here, and they're almost like British tan,
Right. Yeah.
Whereas this one I think is maybe what people are more expecting with a natural, but very pretty.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people compare Cypress in terms of its characteristics to like a veg tan. So natural's really nice because if you really like that patina, this is going to show its age over time.
Yeah, and I've said this before, but Cypress was essentially invented as a replacement for Dublin, which they still sell, but Dublin is so stretchy it's hard to last with. So this is a little lower temper. Okay, so these two I have two versions. So this is for a customer. He came into the shop, wanted a unique option. Shout out to you, Ted. Thank you for coming by. But these are both Cypress Acorn. You can see there's a ton of variability. I think just on the bigger canvas of an 8-inch boot, you see it more. I really like this color. We'll see what people think. Very unique. Definitely kind of that tobacco look I've been going for.
Right.
Getting pretty close to that on kind of a non-Wicked and Craig double stuff. But yeah, a really, really pretty. I really like that one.
Yeah. Speaking of tobacco, I think these across the board on our tannages, I think the acorn and the tobacco are going to be compared to a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So this is the tobacco. It's not really an existing colorway that I'm super familiar with, but this is also from Halloween and Cypress. But definitely you can see more orange versus yellow. Which is a cool look. I really like this. I really like this as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color. The sample came in a little on the stiff side, so we're going to have to change up the temper a little bit.
One boot because we couldn't get the freaking thing to work on the other one because it's so boardy. Obviously, the production run will not be that stiff.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever gotten a sample where it was so boardy that we couldn't finish the boot like this. But hey, we can change that up if people like this color.
Right.
Yeah,
we'll get it right when the full version comes in.
Exactly. Yeah, if people really like this color and we decide to bring it in, or you decide to have us bring it in, we can change up the temper and get it right, and it'll be a beautiful boot.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Cypress. Let's move on to the next tannage. Okay, so here we have our Spokane leathers that we're looking at. We've wanted to add a gray. This is steel. Predator steel we've offered in the past. It's always done really well. But you can see it's got some of that brown in it. Like, so here, I'll compare it to the light gray versus the steel here. You can definitely see this is gonna brown pretty significantly.
Similar
whereas
to
I think this has a much better chance of staying true.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think this will age similarly to like the double stuff slate.
Yep.
Which you can get some brown tones in it over time.
Yep. Some people really like that. Some people want it to stay gray. I think this guy will have a much better chance of staying gray. So, and then charcoal. So this is I like this color. It's very subtle.
I think it's interesting. Like, we did our own internal kind of voting of like deciding what we liked, and this actually ended up being one of the most popular ones.
One of the top ones. Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's it's not a true black. Like, I think if you put a like true black next to it, you can really see.
Yeah.
It's a little bit lighter. It's got those gray tones in it. I think it really is true to the name of charcoal. It's really nice.
Yeah, and it's like, it kind of looks like a matte black, but there's a little more to it. Like, it's definitely got some, you can see that there's some gray in there. But this one I think would also, it struck through as well, being a Spokane, so I do think this will have a good chance of kind of staying true to this color long term, which is valuable with the gray. Okay, that's it for Spokane. So these are Shackletons. So this is essentially waterproof CXL. Shackleton, I have to say, one of the more comfortable leathers that we offer.
Absolutely.
Very soft, great hand feel, buttery smooth, break-in super easy. But it's kind of a more functional CXL. So this guy is the natural, right?
Yep, that's the natural.
Yeah. So this is the natural. So you get a sense, right? Like, comparing that to Cypress natural, this is the same color. But because of the base layer, it's very different. Now you can see where it gets heavily lasted here on the counter. You do kind of get a similar color coming through, but on your vamp and kind of the rest of it, it's not as much. So I think it's kind of what you want, right? But this also does kind of look a lot like some of our other browns.
Yeah, like you said, it's very similar to like a British tan.
Yep, it's cool. It's cool leather. It's really cool leather. Shackleton black.
So nothing too crazy going on there, but it's going to look very similar to the black CXL. Maybe not quite as much like T-core or patina over time, but also water resistant. So if you like the black CXL, but you need it for all weather boot, Shackleton would be a good option.
Yep. Classic. This is tobacco. Where's the other one? The same color, but different tannages. So you can see, the CXL and the Shackleton just really seem to kind of soak up the color a little bit more, and have it be more vibrant. This is cool. I mean,
I actually really like this.
I do really like this. You get the pull up coming through. Yeah. Right there.
I think
kind of a slower burner, I would say. Yeah. This may take some time for it to kind of really manifest itself. But again, man, the Shackleton always just feels great.
Yeah. I kind of ignored this one when we were first reviewing all these, but I actually really like this color. It's got a really nice pull up to it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look great over time.
Yeah. This one kind of got blended in, I think. But I mean, all these leathers are great.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
And, we did tobacco in a few different tannages. We did natural in a few different tannages. So we have to kind of decide the best of the best.
Yeah. And you do.
Yeah.
As well.
It's up to you. I was going to make a joke about voting.
I thought you were going to say something about wildfires.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Okay, so here we have our Predator options. Toasted coconut, dark brown. The toasted coconut reminds me a lot of the Predator whiskey.
Yeah. Somewhere between Predator whiskey and some of the really, really dark Predator orange.
Maybe a little darker. Yeah. nice leather, beautiful. Really pretty colorway. This was a top 3 voter getter internally. So this dark brown Predator really appeals to me. We don't really have anything like it. Right. I think it looks awesome. And will get nice and distressed and scuffed up really easily. It's great. This is a great leather.
Yeah, I think this was one of my favorites as well. I don't know if it's because, we've been doing a lot of vibrant colors that pop, but yeah, the dark brown and the charcoal were the 2 for me that were kind of the winners.
So I think it's funny because I think the way we look at it, we're aware of like all the leathers we've had over the past couple of years, and so maybe we're like filling holes, and so, but I think just on first impression, I'm curious what you guys think.
Exactly,
vote with your passion, right? Whatever jumps off the page to you first. Bison time. Polarizing. Not a strong performer internally, but this is Shackleton Greener Pastures, Greener Pastures in Bison. The Horween calls it either Yellowstone tannage.
Yellowstone Bison, yep.
Which I'm surprised at how similar it is to this turquoise. So this is a new Law tanning color off the shelf. I think what is most interesting about this is the edges.
The
edges.
The rough out, yeah.
Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what this would look like in a rough out? It'd be insane. Oh, yeah. That would be funny. We go back to the 80s, man.
I think these 2 are... It's one of those colors where it's you either love it or you want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's funny, Dakota actually... He's already gotten...
who's going to love these.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's the thing. It's like, of your friends who would like these.
Yep.
We got black, jet black, actually. So Yellowstone, I think they dry these differently, which is why you get sort of a tighter grain structure or pebble on the Yellowstone. So the Yellowstone's Horween, this is the Law Bison. It does feel tighter. And it's more expensive too. So yeah, it's interesting. Tobacco?
Acorn
tobacco.
So Acorn Yellowstone. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is a cool leather.
These both come in pretty close to the what was it? The cognac we did originally when we tested out these Yellowstone ones, which I think those are all kind of going through right now. Yellowstone Bison, I think it was slept on a little bit when we first did it.
It got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Like I'm wearing a pair of Yellowstone Bison right now. I love this leather. It's an amazing leather. I think there's a little bit more veg tan in the process. It's got this really nice kind of shell feel to it in terms of like durability. And these are some really vibrant, nice colors.
I think one thing is like Horween doesn't really, they can, but they don't do a lot of rough out, like excluding wax flesh. But I mean, like, a smooth side and a underside. So like Spokane is something that they're doing that with, but it's a little new to them. Not new, but I don't think they've done a ton of it lately. And so like this you could reverse, right, pretty easily.
Right.
It's definitely died through, whereas this is more of a T-core. You can kind of see.
Yeah. Oh man, I can already see someone wanting to do a rough out 2-tone of this in the Oxblood Bison.
For sure.
Red and blue.
Yeah. Man. Is that allowed? I don't know. It'd be
Bison, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Hey, if we bring them in, if enough people vote for turquoise, and we bring it in, why not?
Okay, back to the comparison we did a little bit. So this is our only CXL. This is Pacific CXL. I think this might be one of the most color true expressions of this colorway.
Yeah.
The wax flesh is pretty dark. This is a little blue. This actually kind of gets that like seafoam, like green and blue, and depth of color to it that I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope this does well. I think it's.
I do too. If we were like picking a tannage of each color, I think the Pacific CXL would be what I pick.
I would agree. There's nothing wrong with the other ones. They're all great.
Yeah.
It's just this one is kind of like what I envisioned. Now, what you envisioned, what I envisioned, don't have to be the same. But this was kind of what I was thinking when I first brought it in.
I think that's all of them. for now, I mean, we have some more samples coming, don't we?
I think we have a few. So this will be the big push. Yeah, we'll get that out there. Let you decide. I hope we'd love to get your input on that. Helps us make some planning decisions and understand what might be most successful. And love to kind of make you part of the process. So yeah, for Lucas, Shyler, thank you so much for your time, guys. We hope you have a wonderful afternoon or morning whenever this comes out, Kelsey. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.